Photo editor Chris Ehrman, formerly of Blender and XXL, and Gavin Stevens, Spin Magazine's associate photo editor, will be judging the live concert photography of Jackie Roman and Chris Oyoung in the Viewfinders Music Challenge.
Jackie, Chris, thanks for coming to the Viewfinders Music Challenge. You guys just finished shooting the Of Montreal and Janelle Monáe show, and we would like to see your favorite 5 images of each artist from that show.
It was a really difficult shoot. Technically, the lights and the venue were extremely low, but I think I captured the energy well in my style.
It was so crowded. There was a lot of fantastic elements that they put into the crowd. Fog machine and goose feathers, which is a good thing and also very challenging.
We're gonna see who we think has what it takes.
And that person will be the winner of the Viewfinders Music Challenge.
I haven't been doing this very long, so it's whether I win or lose, I think I'll benefit. It's great.
Chris, you're up first.
We arrived to the venue very early because there was no photo pit. Janelle Monáe is such a dynamic performer. Her facial expressions are so important, her body posture. What I like most about this image is she's looking out of frame, just right into the light, and I'm very technical with my work. I don't crop more than 5 or 10% of the frame ever. I chose to include this crowd shot out of a huge range of images. The thing that strikes me about this picture is her eyes. She's got that sort of robotic, theatrical, almost mask-like face, and she's right about to dive in to the crowd to surf. Of Montreal shows are just total insanity. And for my style of photography, which is very calculated, very technical, it's very difficult. This next image is one of the rare moments for me when Kevin interacted with the rest of the band. He came up, the bassist came down. They were there for only a couple of seconds with both of their faces in view. The final image I chose after agonizing over it for quite a long time, because this was one of the very few images I have where Kevin is clearly really into the performance. His face is always controlled and poised, and this was one of the moments of sort of lack of poise. That's my set. Thanks very much. I thought the presentation went well for the most part. In hindsight, I would have liked to speak more about my style and how that came across in the photos, but I think it's just fine to let the work speak for itself.
All right, Jackie, you're up. Let's see what you got.
Winning the Viewfinders Challenge would, for me, be a reconfirmation of my ability to deliver solid images on assignment. Hey, thanks for having me. This is Of Montreal at their sound check at the Music Hall of Williamsburg. I feel this kind of image entices the viewer to make believe that they had a backstage pass. This next image is my hero shot of Kevin Barnes. If this were running as a feature, this could be the top image to kind of lead off the story. My favorite part of this image is the bridge of the guitar. Kind of looks like he set his guitar on fire. I think some concert goers are often intimidated by all this heavy equipment and professional photographers in the front row. So one of my favorite things to do is to take a few steps back and shoot from a few rows removed. This tiger-headed guy is reaching out and grabbing this guy's head, and he's reaching back and they're touching for a moment, and it's really intimate. This first image of Janelle Monáe is my hero shot of her. I think she's really a doll. This second one is her guitar player, and there's a really nice specular highlight there on his tongue. He's playing a two-tone Fender that matches his outfit. He's got sunglasses. There's nothing about this that isn't totally rock and roll, and that's why I love it. I think it's a fitting way to close the set. It's the moment right when she got the okay from her fans to surf out there. And the crowd are really excited. They're reaching out to her. They're supporting her. It really properly illustrates the visceral quality of this kind of show. That's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thanks.
I wrote down all these notes, and I only remembered some of them, but it all came out really naturally, so it's good.
Let's talk about Chris.
Let's do it.
Hands down, the shot that did it for me was shot number 4 with Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
Those eyes are just insane.
He gets her face, he has like captured that energy and really her translating that energy into the crowd.
It's a really great image. This image for me, there's almost nothing good about it.
Right.
The only good thing about this image is that there's interaction between the band, but the shadow that goes into Kevin Barnes's neck,
It's very unflattering, the combination of the light and the angle. You always want to put your subject on a pedestal as much as you can.
Right.
Make them look as great
He's
as they
such a
can.
good subject too.
Yeah.
Like, can you really take a bad
Right.
photo? Oh wait, he took a bad photo of him.
This of Montreal shot I thought was especially captivating.
You can almost, you feel like you're on stage with him. You know, you
touch
can
him.
feel the energy, like that's what it's all about. Why did Chris even mention that he won't crop his images?
Maybe possibly his fixation on finding those crops and finding the angles where the mic stand comes perfectly into the corner.
He's very technical.
I think that rigidity could have affected his edit.
He's looking for the angles.
Yeah, he may
I hear you.
have tried to turn that too much into a emphasis.
As a photographer, I'm usually sort of behind the scenes and actually being judged in front of the editors, me, my person, in being in front of them, and not just the photos. It's a different experience.
All right, let's talk about Jackie. I was really impressed with the fact that she came back with a portrait of the band. I think that that says a lot about a concert photographer, a music photographer.
Giving an editor that extra option, knowing that they have, a portrait from that night, from that show.
Huge.
The shot she described as her hero shot. For me, it looks as kind of a default performer shot.
To me, she might have completely ruined this photo by calling it her hero shot, because there is nothing hero about this shot. It was like, really? Maybe we need to find another one to call the hero shot. This photo, the eye of the tiger is
It's fierce.
fierce. She got out into the crowd.
Versatility.
Yeah. It's a tiger singing. It makes you
Right.
look twice. I think that's a really important element.
It also has that connection of crowd and performer. For me, it comes down to that it's a profile shot and it looks a little in between. She's not fully stage diving. She's about to commit to something maybe, and it's just not there yet.
It's one of those things where it's so close, yeah, but it's, in the end, it's really not that interesting.
I feel like these images really sum up how grandiose and outrageous of an experience it was to be there.
So I think we've made our decision. Let's get the photographers back in here.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, welcome back. Chris, let's talk about you first. We really loved the image of Janelle Monáe. One of the things that you really nailed is the energy in her eyes and how she was connecting with the audience. We thought that that was really lovely.
One thing, Chris, that we thought that you could improve on is being a little bit freer, being a little bit looser. Maybe your edits were a little bit tighter than you wanted, especially when you're concerned so much about composition and lines and angles.
Jackie, you also had some really great images.
As an editor, it really is nice to know that you didn't just cover the show, you went above and beyond and were able to capture a portrait of the band during soundcheck.
The image that we felt sort of lacked punch was the image that you referred to as your hero image of Janelle Monáe. It wasn't quite there. The composition was a little off with her fingers being cropped. It almost looked like she was introducing Of Montreal to the stage instead of actually being a performer.
Chris and I had a very difficult choice making this decision.
The winner of the Viewfinders Music Challenge is... Congratulations, Jackie.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Bob, really. In my heart, I felt that I gave it my 110% absolute best and that it was meant to be.
What's the best concert photo you've ever taken? Submit a photo for a chance to be featured on the Viewfinders photography blog. To find out more, visit www.zoom-in.com/photography.
When you are in this kind of work, you have to be quick because you have to provide pictures for the agency, for your magazine, so you shoot a lot. For my editing, I come back home, download the card on my computer, and then I use one software, Lightroom. I think I try everything, on the market. But now I'm really working with Lightroom because it's fast. You can do everything, captioning, keywording, make your post-treatment, and send the picture in the same time, and everything is in the same software.